Hi, I'm Gary Bold with Integrity Builders here today with Jonathon and we're going to talk about the Space Ray tube heater he sells.
Yeah, so like Gary said, my name is Jonathon. I'm the sales rep for Space Ray, and what we're showing you today is our Defender tube heater. Now, in this building, and like others in the Midwest, tube heating is becoming more and more popular. It was very popular in the 90s, but kind of fell out of style due to the heaters weren't really made for this environment, and I think Gary can attest to that.
Yeah. Back in the late 90s, I built a barn, a wean to finish barn. We had tube heat in it, ran fantastic for 5 years, and then the heaters all rusted out.
Yeah, so the tube heat kind of came from the poultry side of things, and it's not as corrosive of environment as it is here in the swine building. So the main thing that Space Ray did was make the heater for the environment that it's in. The first thing we did is we burned clean air. You have to have clean air for the combustion. If you try to just burn the air that's in here, you're going to rot this thing out from the inside. So we have our intake stack going up through the attic, so we always have a fresh air supply. The next thing we did is you got to make it last in this environment that it's in. So the whole burner head here is all stainless steel. All doors and joints are sealed and gasketed. So it gives us IP66 power washer rating, so you can power wash this head unit and not worry about getting water in the electronics or the boiler motor. The next thing we did is our calorized steel emitter tubes. The calorization process is basically we spray this tube with aluminum and then we bake it on at 1400 degrees. And at 1400 degrees, that aluminum actually infuses into the steel. So it gives us a very long life on these tubes, and they do have a 10-year warranty on them. The emitter, or the reflector here, is all aluminum, hardware stainless steel, so it's going to be around for a long time. The other benefit with tube heat is they are a lot more efficient than individual brooders. One of the large integrators here in the Midwest ran a comparison 2 winters ago of 2 identical barns on the same site, filled at the same time. One barn had their standard individual brooders per pen, and the other we installed the tube heat in. The gas savings that they saw on there and just the overall quality of the pigs was tremendously in favor of the tube heat. So much and so they now use them, it's in their specs. All of their wean to finish barns now have the tube heat in them. The benefits you get from the tube heat is also a larger pattern on the floor. When you have individual brooders, you get a round spot on the floor that's maybe twice the size of the canopy on the brooder. With tube heat, you get basically the whole length of the building. As you can see here, we have tube heaters running the whole length, and it casts about an 8-foot wide pattern on the floor. So you see here what they've done is put solid slats under the tube heat, so it reduces, pulling mats in and out. You don't have that to worry about anymore. You get a lot larger footprint for the pigs to lay in. You don't get the crowding underneath the brooder, or if you get the brooder too low, you get the donut shape where the pigs on the outside aren't getting good coverage. Here you got the full length of the barn by an 8-foot wide pattern on the floor. And Gary, you were talking about some double stock opportunities.
Yeah, the thing I like about the tube heat is in today's environment, especially when square footage costs are going up and nobody can control that, we can use a tube heat, and people have the ability to double stock or triple stock these buildings with small pigs, get a better utilization of their square footage, and then as the pigs get to feeder pig size, they can kick them to other buildings. So that's another good benefit of it.
Yeah, and just one of the reasons they're more efficient is with this type of heat, you're actually heating objects instead of the air. And as we all know with hog buildings, you have to constantly bring in fresh air. It's what your minimum ventilation does. So, today we've got 40 degrees outside, maybe 45. With this type of system, we're not heating air and then just taking it right out through the fans. We're heating the objects, so the slats get warm, the pigs get warm, the slats stay warm. Even when these shut off, you still get a lot of heat for a long time off of the slats. So it makes for a really nice system, good even heat for the pigs.
I've been in one of my integrators' barns where they have a similar setup to this, and they have the pigs stocked at 3 square foot as the nursery stage in here. And what I've noticed is raising pigs my whole life is you don't see a bunch of pigs piled up under a brooder. You see them all spread out nicely, laying out on their sides, and it's a great heat for weeder pigs. I'd like to thank Jonathan for coming down today and help shoot this video. If you have any questions, please call me at 319-330-0389 or call the office at 319-752-9001. Thank you.
Thanks.